Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Guns and Yellow Ribbons podcast. We follow the team that's still in 4 competitions. We follow the team that's going to Wembley. We follow the team that makes a great atmosphere in a cup semi-final at home to Chelsea and fill our stadium. We are the Arsenal. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to another podcast by Guns and Yellow Ribbons. This is your Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Enjoy the show.
Evening, Trevor. It's Friday. I spend more Friday nights with you than I do my wife these days. You know that?
Yeah, well, it's understandable. What a week we've had, Ferg? What a week we've had, back winning in the league, through to a final, going to go in first this weekend. Oh, mate, I'm over the moon. I'm absolutely buzzing with what our great football club are doing at the minute, mate.
Mate, I've had a fantastic week. Tuesday night, I got very drunk Tuesday, as you know, and we started my birthday eve off with great celebrations at the Emirates Stadium, getting through to Wembley, beating an abject Chelsea. I didn't think they'd done bad, but I just thought that they could have come at us a little bit sooner than they did. And then, obviously, my birthday was Wednesday, and I've had the rest of the week off, so I've basically spent it in the pub, and it's been great.
Do you know what, right? It was a funny old game Tuesday. I've seen so many different summing ups of the way Chelsea approached the game, Ferg. The coach got it all wrong, should have come at us sooner. The coach did the right thing, he just didn't get the luck of the run of the ball. The coach saw what George Graham did and thought, we're going to do that. But at the end of the day, Ferg, whatever tactics they used, they weren't going to get near us, I don't think. People are moaning about the Arsenal not coming out to play. We didn't have to come out to play, Ferg. We didn't have to come out to play. It wasn't down to us to score a goal. And I thought we played absolutely magnificently, Ferg.
Yeah, we were 1-0 up at the start, and that's all we had to do. Personally, I wanted us to go out and score early in the first 10, 15 minutes, put the tie to bed, and then we could all relax. But you know what? The way it finished, because it was late night and everything else, and I was going to meet you for a beer after on the stadium concourse. I wandered, and so did Dan, wandered up the back of the stands about 94, 95 minutes, just before the 96 minutes were up. And we're standing up the back, just watching down, and the way it went mad, and to look down over the whole North Bank, just gone mental. There was limbs everywhere, mate.
It was a magnificent atmosphere. And when that goal went in, it was just wonderful. It's been a while since we've had an ending to a game like that. And there was limbs everywhere. I was black and blue all over. I was the following morning, but I didn't give a damn. It was a wonderful night. And it's the way a semi-final should be played, in front of a full stadium, raucous, everybody celebrating a trip to Wembley. It could have been a lot worse. It could have been the other side, and you could have been in half empty stadium, just walking off the pitch after the game, clapping at the empty seats, and then going all over social media all week trying to make excuses and reasoning for that. No, we got it right. The Arsenal was always classy, got it right. Yeah.
What did you make of this? The upper tier, okay, we knew it was going to happen. There was 4,000 Chelsea fans in the upper tier, 2,000 in the lower tier. Safe standing was installed up there.
Yeah.
Did you think the same as me? That I don't know, it was because of the way Chelsea were playing, the way the game wasn't the most exciting game throughout. Chelsea didn't give anything for their fans to cheer about. But even when they did try and get something going, because of the divide of the club and boxes between the lower and the upper, a bit like West Ham away, it didn't really kick off, did it? Considering 6,000 Chelsea in there.
Look, Chelsea, they're passionate fans of Chelsea, lads. I know a good few of them, but they've never been the loudest on the terraces. And I thought that sticking them in the upper tier was just like Newcastle. the fact that we had 2,000 in the lower tier was 2,000 too many. I know the ins and outs of that. I know why it's got to be done. But moving them to the upper tier was definitely the way to go. It helped the Arsenal no end. It helped us no end get our voices heard and lift our team. And, of course, Chelsea fans ain't going to be lifted when their side's not trying to score, and so, yeah, it all works in our favour perfectly.
And the lineup we had, bar Kepa and goal, who, in fairness, I don't think he had very much to do with 2 shots on target. He didn't have very much to do. He was the one I wanted to replace with Raya when we talked about it beforehand. The rest of the lineup was all right. Madueke had a good game. Gyökeres had a good game. Martinelli was brilliant. And it was great to see when Havertz came on later. For him, I wanted Madueke or Havertz to get a goal against Chelsea.
Yeah, absolutely. I was, Kepa's going to play in goal in the cup tournaments. I understand that, but I'd have preferred to see Raya, if I'm blatantly honest. And I was surprised to see Eze start. I really was. I thought that we'd see Havertz start with Gyökeres again. I really did. But then when you think about the position we were in after the first leg and the way the game was going, probably the right decision to make. Although I still don't think Eze showed his true form. But I'm still hopeful that he's going to fall into place and he's going to become a fine player for the Arsenal.
Yeah, and then that leads us to Wembley. So we're going to Wembley. We're in the east stand. So on the far side of the screen to what people are seeing at the minute from us. And we've got that whole section along. Tickets vary from 41 quid to about 108 quid for the non-corporate. 150 is it? For the non sort of corporate ones. Yeah. Those ones on the really back uppers are only 41 quid. So if people can get an opportunity to go, it seems that there's a better opportunity for most season ticket holders to go, Trev.
I don't know, Ferg. I think that the ones that go to the most games are getting rewarded, which is right. After that, it's a ballot, which I think is probably the right thing to do. So every season ticket holder has a chance. I don't see how else Arsenal can do it, to be honest, Ferg. I genuinely don't see how else Arsenal can do it, mate. Yeah, so that's it. I mean, we're very lucky, and I don't take it for granted. We're in pot 1, so we'll be able to get our tickets. And I wish anybody that's entering the ballot in pot 2 all the very best. I genuinely do.
I do think. I think there might be. Well, some people won't be able to go for whatever reason anyway. So, if those season ticket holders who mightn't be in the country, or they might have an operation or family commitments, so there'll be an element there. But there's, I think, about 4,000 or 5,000, I reckon, in pot 1. And then you've got another 26,000, 27,000 that are going to be in pot 2. There's 43,000 season ticket holders. So there is a chance that, maybe some silvers will get a look in. I don't think there's going to be many, but I think most season ticket holders that want to go will be able to get a seat, I'm sure. And then there's the talk of maybe up to 4,000 getting released by City because they're unlikely to sell their allocation.
Don't go there, Ferg. Don't like that blue touch paper. Listen to what they've been saying today on social media. They're going to sell all their tickets and they're going to want to buy ours as well. The City, they'll sell everything. Ferg, don't go there again. I'm done with them this week. I've even had one little idiot comparing the fact that we couldn't sell all our tickets for Baku to them not selling all their tickets for our own semi-final.
I saw that. I knew people who flew out there and got taxis from Georgia down to Azerbaijan. The journey was.
And don't name him, not giving him any airtime. But that lad is a self-entitled, spoilt brat. And if it was my lad, it'd be getting a clip round the ear hole, let me tell you. Horrible little piece of work.
Since we're on about social media, before we go into the previews, and we are going to go through Leeds, Fulham, Man United versus Spurs, Bournemouth, Villa, Burnley, West Ham, Fulham, Everton, Wolves, Chelsea, Newcastle, Brentford. We're going to go through all of those, Brighton, Palace, Liverpool, Man City, and the main event, Arsenal, Sunderland. We're going to go through that. But before we go into that, you know that we're talking about Arsenal has been really, really boring and, where the anti-football side because we only score from set plate pieces and so on. I'm starting to see the tide turn with the media now, because they're realizing that, hang on a second, it does look like Arsenal are in control of the situation. I don't want to preempt that we are assume anything, but there's been loads of clips now where they're coming along and saying, well, they have to be in those positions. What we've been saying for weeks, they have to be in those positions to gain those set pieces. And teams that were mentioned, Man City didn't even try and play against Arsenal at the Emirates, and Liverpool at home and away didn't try to play football against us. And then they looked at European sides who try to play their own game and forget about the reputation that Arsenal have gone, and we've smashed past them. It's great just to see that it's turning a little, Trev.
It is. I don't care. To be honest with you, I don't mind the press being on our backs, because in my head, it fires me up as a fan, and I'm hoping it fires the players up as well. There's a certain Mirror sports writer who I'm not going to name, right? Because I don't want to give him any publicity. Who's an Arsenal fan. I believe he's an Arsenal season ticket holder. He's been writing some horrible stuff about the Arsenal last couple of weeks. And he was on the Sunday supplement on Sky the other week in the morning, and how he was going on about Gyökeres was nothing worse than disgraceful. Just a personal attack. It was horrible, horrible. But anyway, I don't care. We're in 4 competitions. We're deep into 4 competitions. Every week that goes by, we get deeper in 4 competitions, right? We've got a massive chance. We play first this weekend, right? And then we're going to play one of 4 teams in the Champions League. And I'd put my money on this to beat all 4 of them if they were on the pitch at once, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? We've got Wigan in the FA Cup 4th round. All respect to Wigan, but we should have won that. And then we're in a League Cup final. I'm not having any more of this down talk on this podcast, Fergus. None at all. None at all. We're the best team in Europe right now, right? And let's talk like we are. Anyway, who are we going to smash this weekend? We're going to smash Sunderland in the next week. I've made loads of Sunderland fan friends. The trip up there this year was amazing, right? And I've made some friends up there. Been talking to them this week and having a bit of banter with them. They're lovely lads. And I'm already looking forward to my trip up to Sunderland next year. I'm not going with you, Fergus, or Dan or anyone. Go and meet me Sunderland mates and have a few beers with them, because they're good lads. And they probably buy more beers than you do, which isn't difficult, by the way. So, right, listen, right, we're going to buzz all the way through this podcast now with a big smile. I can't wait to get to that ground tomorrow. I can't wait to do every game now. Every game. Wonderful. Leeds v Forest, Ferg. Who cares? It's all about the Arsenal.
Lads, but your predictions in the chat for what Leeds v Forest. Big game tonight, 8:00. It can determine who is going to be in the relegation battle with West Ham and the like. Danny's already gone for 2-0 for Leeds. I was speaking to my West Ham friend in the pub today, and he wants a draw. I think Leeds will probably win and just get away with it. I've gone for 2-1 to Leeds. Although Leeds have not got many points in the last few games.
Yep, they haven't. But I think they'll be too good for Forest. I agree with you, Fag.
It's under the lights at Ellen Road, which we talked about, and we were glad that we avoided that last week.
Do you know what? In fairness, right? I mean, the Leeds fans were loud last week. They were raucous, and they supported their team finally. But they didn't seem quite as loud as they have been. They seem to have dropped off a decibel or two. I don't know why that is, but I wasn't complaining. But Leeds fans are still superb, but just a bit quieter. So I've gone for Leeds 3-1, Ferg. I've gone for one more than you. I think they'll beat Forest and take us and get themselves up the league. Are they above Tottenham or below Tottenham at the minute? Oh, I don't care. But
they're below. They're 26. Tottenham are 29.
Yeah, so we want them to win. We want Leeds to win, and then we want Forest to win. So can they both win? Yeah, because we want to see Tottenham in trouble. Right, Ferg. Saturday, 12:30, right? Man United versus Tottenham. Man United have been flying. They've beaten the best team in Europe a couple of weeks ago, Man United. Do you know what I mean? So they've got to be good at the moment. Surely they're going to be too good for Tottenham, aren't they?
You know what? This game it would have been difficult to call. I think last season, the same game, Tottenham won 3-0. But I don't think they've won twice in a row away from home at United. Tottenham are in a mess domestically. and United are on a rich reign of form. I've gone. What have I gone? 2-0 to United. Wash my mouth out. Oh. But you know what? I can't win on this one. Whichever one I vote for.
I've gone 2-0 Man United as well. Exactly the same. Gone 2-0 Man United. And Tottenham, any Tottenham fans watching or that listen to this, please don't let your club sack Thomas Frank before we play there in a few weeks' time. Please don't let Tottenham sack Thomas Frank. I'm looking forward to that day so much, and we need Thomas Frank to be in charge.
So do we need him to get a draw then up there, or even maybe a win to keep him in place?
Who?
To keep Thomas Frank in place. I'm not going to say it.
Go and wash your mouth out. Go and wash your mouth out.
Sorry,
how can you even think those things? How can you even
I'm just thinking we want to keep Thomas Frank in place.
I don't care. No. I don't.
Okay.
No. Oh, a little bit of sick came up into my mouth then. Right. We're going to talk about something that's very important to us. We've been leaving it to the end of the show a lot, but we're going to talk about it early in the show now. It's okay to talk. We do it every show. It's a serious part of the show. It's a genuine message to people out there. It's a heartfelt message to people out there. And Fergus, take it from there, mate.
We support Andy's Man Club. We do it every Monday and every Friday when we do this show. Andy's Man Club is a men's suicide prevention club, but it's not just there for suicide prevention. It's there to stop the rot before it even starts. So if you've gone through a storm, or if you've just been through one, you need to talk, want a cup of tea and a biscuit, go to andysmanclub.co.uk, click on, put in your postcode, and you will find there are loads. There's something like 600 different meetings. They're every Monday night, 7 till 9. So you will miss our Monday night show. But if it gets you through that storm so that you can come back and then enjoy this show with us for years to come, we would love you to go to Andy's Man Club. And if you know of a friend and that they don't watch this and they will support another club, or they don't do sport, don't do podcasts, just remember to share Andy's Man Club. I actually have shared it with a couple of friends who outside of our circle that we're all on here, and it has come in helpful for some of them.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's the fact that there's so many Andy's Man Clubs across the country is quite sad, because it means there's lots of people that are struggling and they have to use it. But it's also brilliant because for those people that are struggling, it's the help you need. It's definitely the help you need.
You know what's really good, though? If you go back 10 or 15 years ago, we wouldn't talk about this. We wouldn't have shared our feelings among ourselves and in our groups and our WhatsApp apps groups. And people wouldn't have talked about this, especially men. So the fact, yes, there are loads of them. It does show there's a problem, but at least men are now talking and recognizing it and trying to do something about it rather than just taking the ultimate decision.
Exactly. And a lot of football clubs across the country are jumping on board and promoting whatever they think is best for looking after men and their mental health. So yeah, if you're feeling a bit down, go and talk to them. Talk to Andy's Man Club. Talk to anybody, because talking is the start of getting better. It genuinely is. It genuinely is. It's okay to talk. Right, Ferg. On that note, right, we're on to Saturday. Now you've put these down in a different order to me, so I've got to be careful here. Who have you got next?
Bournemouth Villa.
Bournemouth v Villa, right down at the bottom here, right? So, yeah, I can't talk. I've not got a lot of interest in this, Ferg. What's your thoughts?
I've got no interest in any other game but the Arsenal Sunderland. if I'm totally honest. Bournemouth, they've started better than I thought they were going to start, considering the amount of players that let go in the summer. They've done quite well. Villa started dreadfully for 5 or 6 games without a win, and then Unai Emery has got them playing absolutely brilliant. He's changed his hairstyle again as well. I saw him on doing his press conference, and he's got less grease in his hair, and he's looking a bit more 1980s. But Villa are a good side, and I think they're just going to be that bit too good for Bournemouth. Bournemouth's a tight ground. It's a difficult place to go to, which we know. I spelt Bournemouth wrong, by the way, but we don't have to worry about that. But I've gone 2-1 to Villa.
2-1 to Villa. I've gone for a draw. I can't split them. Bournemouth are home in their little ground. Villa are not been in the best of form. Unai Emery's pulling his hair out. So I've gone for a 1-1 draw, Ferg. And that'll do us because we just need Villa to drop a few more points. That would
We've
be
got
nice.
Arnie, who's gone for a draw on there. You got Simon, who's gone for 2-1 Bournemouth. We've got 2-1 Bournemouth again from Heath. We've got Danny gone 2-0 Villa. And Adam has gone 2-1. A draw for Trevor and 1-0 for Kevin.
So it's split across all angles there. Then it's really a game.
Yeah, it is
difficult to call. It looks like because everybody's got a different score down. Yeah, very interesting. Right, Ferg. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Fergus, the third love of Fergus's life after his wonderful wife and the Arsenal.
Fourth, you come in there as well.
Oh, cheers. Thanks, mate. Burnley v West Ham. Burnley at home. Oh, have been so poor. West Ham show a little bit of form, then they seem to drop off again. Ferg, I think your boys might just win at Burnley this week, mate.
I think they have to win, and the game that's going on tonight at 8:00 is huge for them because it's either two teams drop 2 points or one team drops 3 points and they get sucked in. But Burnley have to lose, and West Ham have to win if they've got any hope of staying up. They were really unlucky against Chelsea. Went 2-0 up, could have been 3-0 up by halftime last week. Played really well in the first half. Rafinha managed the game really well with substitutions, and Nuno didn't manage his substitutions well, and they lost 3-2. I've gone for Burnley continuing to be poor. West Ham, they've made some good signings. They look like they've got a bit more of an attacking prowess about them. Although between Mavropanos and who's that other?
I don't know.
Centre half that they've got. They make so many mistakes. So, but yeah, I've gone 2-0 for West Ham.
I'd already written down that you'd go for a West Ham win. You didn't have to tell me that. Every week. It's every week. But yeah, West Ham to win at Burnley, climb up the table a bit, get a bit nearer to Tottenham. That will be wonderful. Right, Ferg. Fulham, Everton. You can get that. We just done Burnley, West Ham, though.
No,
Fulham.
I'm just changing. I'm changing it. Fulham, Everton.
Fulham, Everton. I like both of these clubs. Got nothing against either of them, but I do have a massive soft spot for Everton. I genuinely do, and I fancy Everton to get something at Fulham. Ferg.
You know, it's hard to call because Fulham aren't bad at home. You know, they've got the Arsenal D team there as well. They've got some good players in Iwobi, Smith Rowe, etc. It's a very sterile place to go. It doesn't have any atmosphere or any threat for a visiting team, really. Everton are much, much better, but Everton on the road are hit and miss. I couldn't split them. I've gone a 1-1, mate.
You've gone 1-1. Well, I've gone for Everton to win 2-1 at Fulham. I really have. And I like Smith Rowe. Smith Rowe's been playing really well recently. He's been getting more game time, hasn't he? You know, and Iwobi seems to be a bit better. And as for Leno, I still rate Leno, you know. I genuinely do rate Leno. He was a fine goalkeeper for the Arsenal and he's a fine goalkeeper for Fulham. And I wish him all the best.
I wasn't a big fan of Leno when he was at Arsenal because he was more of a punch and a shot stopper rather than a catcher. And I'd like keepers to either catch it and then distribute it out. Like even Ramsdale was more of a catcher, but he was better than Leno. So, but he is a good keeper. Yes, you are right. And he'd done nothing wrong by our club whatsoever.
He's a fine goalkeeper. I'm not having you talking down to him like that. All the best, Bernd Leno, from Ilsey, not from Fergus. But anyway, right. Wolves v Chelsea. Wolves v Chelsea, Ferg. I would love for Wolves to come into their own and turn Chelsea over. We're going there in a few weeks somewhere. We've got a cheap hotel in Wolverhampton, but we're going there for an evening game.
Different rooms, separate rooms.
Different floors. I won't even go on the same floor as Fergus. You can hear him farting and burping from 200 rooms away. You need a big hotel. You need to be at the opposite end. Yeah, Wolves v Chelsea. I'd love to see Wolves get a win. I've got nothing against Wolves, but I can't see it, Ferg. Can you?
Rob Edwards has done really well since he came to Wolves, and I thought he'd done a bit of dirty. Was it Middlesbrough he was at? He'd done a bit of a dirty on them, but he's a Wolves man. and he is getting something from them. Chelsea have been better under Rafinha. I don't know. I struggled with this one. I was going to go for a 1-0 win to Wolves, only because they're at home, but I still think Chelsea will probably be that bit better. So I've gone 1-0 Chelsea.
Yeah, I've gone 2-0 to Chelsea. I hope I'm wrong. I so hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong. Yeah, do you know what? You've spoken about Rafinha there, and we can't move on until we talk about it. Well, I mean, I don't mind him. I think he conducts himself well. He looks a tidy bloke. It looks like he's level-headed, got a brain in him. But come on, kicking off because an Arsenal player's crossed the halfway line in the warm-up. What did he expect to gain from that? He's been ridiculed today, by the way, by the press and everyone. You know what I mean? Absolutely ridiculed, and deservedly so. Actually, it's not often I agree with the press and the media, but he deserved ridiculing for that kicking off because it happens in every game. The goalkeeper's warming up. He needs someone to catch the ball in the opposition off. It's not the end of the world.
It's not even him kicking off. It is effing and jeffing as well. Again, not really necessary, is it? Go off down the other end.
I know. He said it ruined my team's warm up. Get a life. It ruined his team's warm up.
If that's done that, his team is ruined already. If that's what he's depending on it. Yeah.
Unbelievable. But anyway,
and it wasn't a player because, as Aradi said, it was a goalkeeper coach picking up the loose balls that got in the other into the half. Yeah. They do training.
One of the goalkeeper coaches goes up there, don't they? And they feed the ball to him. That's all. Out on the wing normally, not in the middle of the pitch. You know, just out on the. Don't. Ferg, let's move on because it's annoying.
Yeah.
Newcastle v Brentford, right? I've gone off the Geordies over the last few months. I just have, not having nothing to do with them. Brentford, they're at a miss, and we're there on Thursday night, aren't we? You going, Ferg?
No, I couldn't get a ticket on that one, mate. There's only a small allocation.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm going to go. I've booked my little £34 bed and breakfast in King's Cross. I book it by the hour before you make the joke, Fergus.
And he gets a happy every time. He's always happy.
The only happy bit is when I come out of it in the morning. But no, it's clean, it's tidy. It's a bit, it's like a bit run down, but the sheets are clean, the rooms are clean, the shower's hot. That does me. 34 quid in central London. Bring it on. That'll do for me. Anyway, let's get back to Newcastle Brentford, Ferg. I think Newcastle are going to get turned over by Brentford.
I'm looking at some of the stats here on my other screen. I think you're probably right because they lost away to City in the League Cup. They lost away to Liverpool in the league. They drew to PSG, and then they lost at home to Villa. The last time they won was against PSV in the Champions League. Brentford, on the other hand, they beat Villa at home, and Villa at Villa Park are really, really hard to play, which we know. I've actually gone 2-1 to Newcastle, but looking at these stats, I think you might be right, Trev.
Yeah, well, do you know what? I've got all my hands up and say, you know me, I don't look at stats. I don't even know what players play for what teams, but I just fancy Brentford to get a result there. Obviously, the Brentford fans won't be heard because the Newcastle team cheat and stick all the away fans up in the sky where they shouldn't be. Then it gives them an advantage. But beyond that, I fancy Brentford to go there and get something out of it, Ferg. I really, really do. Now, hang on a minute. Me screen. Oh, no, Ferg. Me screen's crashed.
That's all right.
Hang on a minute. I'm just putting the boot into it.
It's the A23. It's the A23 derby.
The A23 derby, yeah. Brighton v Palace. I've got that here. God, do you know what? Don't they hate each other? They're like about 40 odd miles apart or 30 odd miles apart. But they detest each other, don't they? It's vile, the atmosphere.
It comes from the 1970s. I can't remember what the player or the manager was called, but a manager swapped sides. Player-manager swapped sides, and they've hated each other ever since. And it is vile. And it does actually sometimes, it does, you know, you would have thought Palace, okay, yeah, the South London, I've got a little bit of an edge to them. But Brighton, they're, you know, a quiet seaside town. But Paul, the worst side of them comes out in this game. So the Palace are going to be travelling down to the Amex Stadium, they'll bring 3,000 and they'll be noisy. I think that's the game to watch. One of the games to watch this weekend.
Brighton's London by the Sea for me. It really is. We're there, aren't we? In a few weeks, got an evening game in Brighton. Stopping over down there. I'm going to stop over and have a night out in Brighton. Do you know what, Ferg? I reckon this is going to be a ball draw. I don't think there'll be a goal in the game. I'm going 0-0, mate. 0-0.
I think it will be a draw. But it was Alan Mullery, by the way, the manager. There's a few others who have gone with draws in here. I've gone for a draw, but I think there's going to be goals, and I've gone for 2-2. Desmond.
2-2. Fair enough. 2-2.
And Heath said a couple of red cards as well.
Could happen. Yeah, be a nice little bet that get your money on two or more red cards in a game. It could happen. Absolutely down there when it gets towards the middle of the second half and they're getting frustrated and kicking lumps out of each other. Who knows? Right, Ferg. Liverpool v Manchester City, right? And you will never ever hear me say this again in a million years, right? Never in a million years will you hear me say this. Come on, Liverpool.
Yeah, I love Liverpool as a city. I love the Scouse people. Don't particularly like Liverpool Football Club. The fan base is just really not nice. And I've got some good friends who are Liverpool fans and I get on very well with them. And Liverpool have lost just one of the last 22 Premier League home games against Man City, winning 14 and drawn 7. So you would like to think that Liverpool at home with their amplified fake noise could rattle City a little bit. City got a poor defence. Yes, they got Gayu, who will be rested on March the 22nd because he can't play at Wembley. Boo-hoo, Pep. Boo-hoo. But I think it's going to be a good game. I think there's going to be lots and lots of goals in it. I've gone for Liverpool 3, Manchester City 1. I've
gone for exactly the same, Ferg. 3-1 to Liverpool. And by the way, people out there, if you've not crossed the Etihad Stadium off your stadiums to visit yet and you're not too busy, they're at home to Fulham in a week or two's time and they're almost giving tickets away. They'll let anyone buy them. If you're a Fulham fan and you can't get a ticket, just go on the Man City website. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tickets for sale for a team that's fighting to win a Premier League. So yeah,
and they're expanding the stadium as well. They're putting the third tier, 5,000, 6,000 extra seats, but none of them are going to season ticket holders. They're all going to be sold to. It's just going to be. It's
Do you know what? City fans have got right up my snot box this week, right? But there's times when you have to talk as a fan and put club rivalries to one side, and that none of them season tickets going to Man City fans is so wrong. So wrong. Mind you, is there any Man City fans there to want them? Because they can't fill the stadium anyway, Ferg. Listen, there might not be anybody that wants them.
Let's give City some credit. When they were down in League Two, the third tier, or whatever, third tier, they always had the highest away support and the highest home support throughout the country. They're really, really well followed, and they are followed by that core of Manchester City fans. I've got some family members who are in Stockport, and they're City fans. Hang on a second, but they've
right. I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing.
Okay. You normally don't. That's why I was telling you, hang on a second. but it is 25, 30,000 core members of their fan base. And then they've got a 55-seater stadium. It's going to be corporates. And listen, that trip, you didn't do it with us. We went up to Man City earlier in the season. I was at last season. And we got on at Euston. And there was just like loads of people who got up from London. And they were all of multinational sort of, they'd come to London, come to England, and decided they'd take a game in. And the easiest game to get a ticket to is jump on a train, go to Manchester, go to Man City and Arsenal. Great, we get to see great Premier League football. And when we came back down, the train was just full of half and half scarfers. It's and they're putting 6,000 extra seats on there, and they're all going to be sold to either ticket agencies or people who want to do. They're building a hotel and a shopping mall and everything else in that stand. It's just what I hate is happening to football is happening at City.
Yeah, fair enough. It is actually, yeah, it is. But yeah, there's not a lot we can do about it as fans apart from keep churning up and supporting our team. You see, when Man City, the period you spoke about, Ferg, when Man City were at Main Road, it used to be a right lively place to go. They had not the largest fan base, but passionate beyond belief. They'd chase you around the streets of Manchester trying to keep you away from the stadium. I'm not going to go into it any more than that. And I still know a few now. Great lads, Man City fans. Great lads. But I honestly think that the younger Man City fans now that have only come onto the scene of supporting Man City over the last 10 or 15 years are self-entitled, spoilt brats.
Yep.
Right? And if Man City go rapidly downhill, they'll be off on their toes before you can blink. And then you'll be back to having that fine set of fans that Man City used to have that used to follow them all over and used to be at Main Road giving you a lovely, friendly welcome when you went there. So, yeah, spoiled. The young ones at Man City, they're infuriatingly rude, arrogant, spoiled, entitled. And
to be honest, we've got a few of them in our fan base as well. Is some of the some of the younger fans everywhere though. All clubs,
have we? Because our younger fans have never seen us win anything.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, mind you, I got to give credit. I told you, did I tell you? I jumped on the tube and I had a fair few drinks on Tuesday night. And I was on the Victoria line heading back out towards Walthamstow to get the overground to Chingford, and I was going to get a cab home. And two young Arsenal guys, 2021, singing some songs on there. They're quieting down for a minute. And then I just went, "K, Sarah, Sarah." And they went, "Oh, I recognise you. Sergio Capodan. And the Hillsy and you do that podcast, don't you?" I said, "Oh, yeah, thanks very much." He said, introduced ourselves and everything else. I said, "Oh, where are you off to?" I said, "Where I was going." He said, "Oh, we live around the corner. Do you want a lift?" And they came along, 21 years of age. The car was parked at Walthamstow station. They gave me a lift home. Even said, "You get in the front," because I'm an older guy. So they're just been really, really good gentlemen. Harry and Sydney was their name. So yeah, cheers, mates. If you're watching, I really appreciated that lift home.
Well done, Harry and Sydney. I hope you took the headache pills when you got in, because I can imagine what you were going through. Don't put that comment up, Adam. We don't talk about them on here, mate. We don't talk about them on here. We are in no way, sense or form advertising, associating with, or having anything to do with that mob. This is a podcast by real Arsenal fans for real Arsenal fans. I love you here, mate. I love your comments, but that one don't go up. Never again. Never, ever will it ever go up on this screen while I'm on his podcast. Anyway, right. Where were we, Ferg? So we've both gone for a Liverpool win. And now we come to the main event of the evening. The main event of the evening, right? Of the afternoon tomorrow and the evening tonight to talk about Arsenal v Sunderland. Whenever I've said
kickoff, 3 o'clock kickoff.
I know, 2 in a row, 2 weeks in a row. Whenever I said
we must be shit then, mustn't we?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's lovely, isn't it? It's lovely. It's done me no favours because there's no trains into King's Cross tomorrow. So I'm having to go round the houses. I'm having to do an hour and 20-minute drive before I even get on a train tomorrow. But we'll do it. We'll do it. Sunderland fans coming from Sunderland, I don't know how they're getting into London tomorrow. But, yeah, that's how it is. That's the way it is. But you see, every time I've said we're going to win 1-0 this season, Ferg, we've won. We've won, right? And I so wanted to say 1-0 to the Arsenal again. But I think we'll score more tomorrow, Ferg. I really do.
Yeah, I've gone. I'm with Adam and Simon. They've both gone 3-0. We owe them a little bit. I don't think they have Granit Xhaka. If not, he's going to be out for 3 weeks at least. So I don't think he's available. To be honest, it wouldn't be a bad thing if he was at the stadium and people could just show some sort of appreciation. I won't show a huge amount, but I'll respect the guy. Yeah, I listen. If Liverpool do what we expect Liverpool to do, or even if they draw and Man City drop more points and we can drag that even further apart, it's just getting closer and closer to ending this 22 years without league title. And that's all all I can think of at the
I'm
moment.
trying not to get excited.
I know, I'm not.
I'm trying my best, man. I really am, but you've got to, haven't you? Because that's what us supporters do. I think that's after the game up there, Ferg, you and myself were there. We went 1-0 down in the first half. I thought Sunderland played really, really well. And then Sunderland came out in the second half and dropped immediately into a low block. And I thought, well, here we go, because this is our nemesis, and we can't beat a low block. And we scored 2 goals up there against the low block. And I thought it was up until the last minute or two, it was one of the best second half performances I've seen from Arsenal in a long time. To come back from 1-0 down, score 2 goals. And then, of course, we got the kick in the teeth, the 94th minute equaliser from Sunderland, which they possibly deserved, if we're honest.
Yeah, probably.
And it was a perfect game to be at. Apart from the result, they were a lovely set of fans. We had a great few beers before the game. Went into their fans' own pub. It was brilliant, yeah. And I wish them all the very best, Sunderland, apart from tomorrow, when I think they're going to get dug out 4-0, Ferg.
Well, it's been refreshing to see what Sunderland have done. They've come up, and it's been a few years since the team has come up from, well, considering how they nearly dropped out of the league completely because of the poor management and ownership structure in the club. They were in the league 10 years ago, dropped right down to League Two, worked their way back up. And now they've come into the Premier League. Everybody thought they were going to actually be cannon fodder and they were going to be straight back down again. And guess what? They're safe, near enough. I cannot see them being relegated this season. Next season might be a bit more difficult for them, but they have to worry about next season. The manager has been a revelation. I didn't know who he was, but I think he's done absolutely brilliant. Their recruitment in the summer, buying Granit Xhaka, who had Premier League experience and also then won undefeated at Leverkusen the season before, was outstanding. His leadership skills on the pitch have been fantastic, and we saw that in the All or Nothing documentary with Arsenal, which gives us a different view of Granit Xhaka to the other view that many of us have as well. So there's a lot of positives about them, and as you said, they're really nice people, and I really enjoy going up there, and I'm glad that they're going to survive and stay in the Premier League for this year. But I hope they get absolutely smashed by a minimum 3-0 on Saturday.
Do you know what, Ferg? I forgot what I was going to say now.
They're 8th in the league, 4 points off Champions League football.
Yeah, they're a fine side, as they showed us. I was very surprised when Xhaka came back to England. I was so surprised, Ferg, that he went, and he's obviously gone to Sunderland, and he's a superstar up there, and they love him, and we know why they love him. He's brilliant. But Ferg, going a bit deeper into the game tomorrow, goalkeeper, I take it you'll have Raya in goal, will you?
Yeah, for sure.
Who's your back four?
If Calafiori's fit, Calafiori, Timber, Saliba, and Gabby.
Gabriel. Yeah, I agree. If any of you in the comments think anyone's injured or don't agree, get in them comments. Let us know. Midfield, I Rice and Zubimendi for me.
Yeah, it picks itself.
Right. And then I've got Havertz, Madueke, Gyökeres, and Trossard.
You could Havertz. You could rotate with Eze. Do you give Eze a run? Because I think he needs to get a run of a bit of games to try and get him back to his best. Madueke definitely starts. Trossard stroke Martinelli on the opposite wing. Yeah. Gyökeres up top. You could even do Havertz up top. Eze. Is those three that I think will interchange? But I think you're bang on more or less, Trev.
Yeah. You see, Saka's injured, right? Let's say
he's out till the Tottenham game, they reckon.
I'm hearing rumours this week that Odegaard might have had a fallout. I can't see it myself, but I heard a little whisper. But whispers can be whispers. But for me, it's a 4-4-2, Ferg. Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori. Then Rice, Zubimendi, Madueke, and Trossard. And Havertz and Gyökeres up front. Maybe Havertz just a little bit behind Gyökeres. But that's 4-4-2 for me.
We do type of play a 4-4-2, but we still play a 4-3-3 or a 4. a 4-4-1-1. It varies depending on what sort of possession we hold. But yeah, there's more of a nod to a 4-2-2 to help Gyökeres out. And you can see when Havertz is playing, it does play to some of the strengths that Gyökeres has got. And I think if you do continue to play those two and they build a relationship, all of a sudden we get Gyökeres and Victor starts coming to his own, and then he gets his own confidence, and then that will drag in other players with him. And look, after 60 minutes, take him off, put Jesus on. It just depends, you know. But you got to do. Yeah, here, look, Demsek said 4-4-1-1.
Yeah, same difference. Yeah, I agree, Kev. I agree. You see, and I've said it before, and I've got to say it again because it's such an important point for me, Ferg. For me, although I worry a little bit about Gyökeres. I wish he'd started a bit quicker, but we've got to stick with Gyökeres because remember why we bought Gyökeres. We bought Gyökeres because Havertz and Jesus weren't scoring enough goals. They're not out-and-out strikers, right? And everyone was screaming for a striker. Now we've got that striker. We've got to stick with him and maybe play Havertz with him and see how it goes because we've only tried that combination last week and it works. We won 4-0. You know, Gyökeres scores. So
Demsek mentions Zubimendi and Rice that might need a rest. I wouldn't be resting Rice currently at the minute. I think he's the engine, especially if you haven't got Odegaard as well. Zubimendi, you could possibly rotate with Norgard.
You could, but remember we haven't got Marino, you know.
Yeah.
So Norgard. I'm not going to talk about Norgard because you just laugh at me. I wouldn't mind Norgard coming in and playing. He'll never let us down. He'll never let us down.
Danish crush, don't you? Danish crush.
You what? Yeah. Is he Danish? I never even knew he was Danish. Yeah, but he could come in for Rice or Zubimendi because Zubimendi and Rice can play either of the two roles. And maybe. But for me, for the rest of the season now, and it's going to knacker them and kill them, and it won't be possible, I'd play my strongest side every single game until they fall off their feet and then start thinking about changes because we've got to keep challenging. It's a lovely feeling being. How long has it been since we've got to this stage of the season and been in all four competitions and pressing in all four? I don't know.
You know what I mean?
And really,
we haven't been in all four because we got knocked out of the FA Cup and the League Cup earlier on. We've been in the two major competitions for the last three years. But we haven't gone far in the FA Cup for the last 2 or 3 seasons. We got as far as the semi-final of the League Cup and got knocked out by Newcastle last season. I get what you mean. Look, we're on 53 points. Man City on 47. There's 14 games to go. So what's that? 52? Is it? How many points is that?
I don't know.
14 games, 30.
Ferg, this is really interesting. Listening.
42 points left. 42 points. So we can finish. We can. Yeah, go on. We can finish on 95. So,
Ferg, I don't care if we get 6 more points as long as the team behind us only get 5. You know, well, that's one game at. People have started laughing at me for this one game at a time approach, but for me, it's working. It's working. I can't get too excited. Beat Sunderland this week, then think about Thursday. You know, at least we ain't got far off a week off, have we? If we when we beat Sunderland, we go Sunderland Saturdays, Brentford Thursday, so that's not bad. But then we come back again on Sunday, so it's swings and roundabouts. You know, we're not going to moan about.
At least on the Sunday, it's Wigan, so there can be wholesale changes. You will get Maitland-Niles, you get Norgard, you'll get Ben White, you'll get. You know, that's the lineup you're going to get against Wigan. And then we go away to Wolves the Wednesday and then away to Spurs when we're hoping Saka's going to be back the following Sunday. But then it comes thick and fast after that. We got Chelsea at home, Brighton away midweek, Everton on the Sunday, then Man City the following Sunday. But with the Man City, we could actually end up having Man City we've got them in the final, we've got them in the league, and the way the Champions League is working out in the round of 16, we could actually end up having them in the quarterfinal. So we could play Man City 4 times in 4 weeks, I think it is.
Imagine the relentless drone of bull crap on social media if we had to play them all them times in. Oh God, it'd drive me to distraction. It'd be absolutely driving me to distraction. But let's not think. We don't think in ahead.
Danny's caught me out again. It's not Maitland-Niles. I know. Thank you, Danny. It's Miles Lewis-Skelly, and I don't know why this Maitland-Niles thing gets stuck in my head. Thank you, Danny.
Every time.
Yeah,
well done, Danny.
He belongs on the podcast. He's digging me out that much.
So right, listen, that's all the games covered off. Right, the quarterfinal win over Chelsea. Celebrate all you want. Don't listen to bullshit. Don't listen to this crap. The limbs after the Havertz goal was the best I've seen in a long time. I was in a proper mess. Tickets for Wembley. We're all going to go to Wembley and enjoy ourselves at Wembley. Still in 4 competitions. Embrace it. Embrace it. We've got a manager. I saw his news conference today. Amazing. What such a settled, relaxed man. Not like certain other people that moan about having to travel somewhere or too many games. He just gets on with it, doesn't he? He just gets on with it. Wonderful. So yeah, what is there not to celebrate about the Arsenal at the moment? There's nothing not to celebrate. We're top of everything, and hopefully it goes on for a few more weeks yet, Ferg. Look, right. I'm going to get emotional in a minute. So is it time you press that button, mate?
It probably is. Let me just take that banner off. I did have a few new ones, but I'm afraid to put them up because we get banned every time when we put the new ones up. Let's do Blackstock. Some faces in there, Trev.
How loud was that after the game against Chelsea? I love the way Arsenal started doing that after a good win. I really do. So, Ferg, I've kept it. It's only just over 50 minutes. So I'm happy with that. I'm not going to have you moaning at me. We'll let all these fine people get away and watch the football tonight. 200 of you, almost 200 of you watching live. Thank you very much. Say it every week, and I mean it every week. We do appreciate it. If you can go across to YouTube, if you're not on YouTube already, it looks like a lot of people are on YouTube tonight. So, but if you can go across to YouTube and subscribe, that'd be very helpful to us. It won't earn us any money. Well, it might earn us a pint of Guinness at the end of the season. Fergus tells me
that chance would be a fine thing. Chance be a fine thing.
We'll be back on Monday, Ferg. We'll have lots to talk about, mate, because we'll have the game against Sunderland. Then we'll look forward to Brentford. And it'll be a big day. Oh, look, we're 3 short of 1,500. Come on, people, help us out.
Come on, go to YouTube. Get us up to 1,500. Come on, it was my birthday on Wednesday. It was Kevin Campbell's birthday. It would have been Kevin Campbell's birthday on Wednesday.
That was my last thing I was coming to, Ferg. A wonderful lady on social media, Sheila. I never knew her. Most people never knew her personally, but she was always on social media. Wonderful Arsenal fan. Sadly passed away this week, so I'd like to send our condolences to her and her family. It was Kevin Campbell's birthday this week. We don't have to tell how much we loved Kevin Campbell, Ferg. We did the tour with a flag. We paid our respects. I always wear a dicky bow if I'm on a podcast on a Thursday because I think it's the right thing to do, and just respecting a man. So yeah, respect to Kevin Campbell as well. And that's about it, Ferg. I'm going to pass it over to you to do your bit, mate, and get us out of here.
I'm gone. Bye. See ya. Bye. Yeah, thank you very much, mate. You run a great show on a Friday night. I don't always jump on because Friday night is going to be me and the wife's takeaway and movie sort of night, but she's not feeling too well tonight. So, yeah, I'm here. We'll be back on Monday, as you say. And yeah, we thank everybody who tunes in and watches the show. It's not a pro show. It's just us. It's just fans doing what fans do, having a chat, having a beer, and enjoying the Arsenal, enjoying the ride. And I hope you're enjoying the ride. It will be choppy at times. It'll be challenging at times. It'll make your belly flutter over. But that's why we do this. Thank you for watching. We are Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Up the Arsenal. Fuck Spurs.
Thanks for listening to Guns and Yellow Ribbons, an Arsenal podcast by Arsenal fans for Arsenal fans. Follow us on Facebook at Guns and Yellow Ribbons or Twitter at Guns and Ribbons. And remember to rate and review us too. Up the Arsenal.